Hi, welcome to the first edition of Explaining Things to Joe Rogan and his guests. Recently, Joe had on Andrew Huberman. Excellent interview. He's a neuroscientist. And they were talking about Upspeak. Do you know what that is? You know how you tend to go up in a question, you could be like, is that your car? Is that your car? Or is that your car? Or is that your car? But the rule is, as you just saw through that demonstration, that you start low, you go up, and then once you commit to the higher note, you stay there. You tend not to go down. Sometimes you can, like, did you do it or not? You know, if it's a real accusatory, you can do a different kind of question. But generally, you commit to the high and you stay with the high, and when you jump to the high, that's the word that you want to emphasize the most. All right, so that's Upspeak. The problem is that people apply that to statements. We were looking for like the perfect actor, and we couldn't find one, and Dan and I had a lot of disagreements about who should we bring back for a second rehearsal, because we had like several strong contenders, but we couldn't really agree, you know? Yeah, you know what I mean? Okay. That's a way of not committing to what you're saying, and it has exactly the same function as using kind of, sort of. Now here's where it gets interesting, because the guest, the neuroscientist Andrew Huberman, I mean, I love this. He said, I think that maybe people who talk like that have brain damage, like there's something really wrong with them. And he knows of what he speaks. He's a neuroscientist. Joe disagreed. He said, no, I just think it's a tribal thing. Just kind of indicate that we're in the tribe and we agree, and people who don't talk with this upspeak thing are outside the tribe, and I really hate it. Okay, it's neither. It has the same exact function as kind of, sort of, non-committal. Why be non-committal these days? Because people who know things commit, right? There's two groups of people who do commit to what they say. Two. One is people who work for others, people who are not in a power position. So if Elon Musk says to one of his employees, hey, wow, yeah, did you work out the formula to make sure that the multi-million-dollar rocket will actually land on the deck of the aircraft carrier in the middle of the ocean, and not instead splash into the middle of the sea and be a complete failure? Yeah, you don't get to say, yeah, we worked it out and we sort of like went through the math a few times, and it looks like totally it's gonna, like, sort of land, and it's all good. Elon would be like, whoa, stop, wait, oh, no. I'm asking you a question. Did you go through the math? Yes or no? Yeah, we sort of like did. It's like, okay, last try, right? You can't talk like that. And if you're in any serious position where you have to answer to a boss about something where there's any stake at all, you can't talk like that. You can't do the lilte. So what do we know so far? That means that by doing that, you're telling everyone I don't work for a living. That's why, like, I have these really expensive cuffs and this $40,000 watch, and really long fingernails that are perfectly manicured to show that I don't work for a living. There's no burns on my wrists from working behind a stove, or dirt under my fingernails, or calluses, or anything like that. So it's an expression. It's a bling bling. It's also stupidity as bling bling, right? Because not only is saying I'm not going to commit, even in instances where the committal won't cost me anything, I'm still going to talk like this because it indicates that I don't think, because thinking is for losers. Thinking is now for losers. We now live in an age. Everything that's going on in the streets, every discussion you're hearing, all this stuff about intersectionality and all that, this is an attack on intellectualism, right? It is to say, if you think, if you're one of those people, you're not cool. Thinking's for losers, like, math professors and writers, artists, scientists. Yeah, they suck. So you'd rather be like Kanye and just jump on the stage and talk complete nonsense, like you just got a mule kick to the head 20 minutes before you started to speak. You don't make any sense? How cool. Sort of kind of does the same thing, right? So we sort of found the perfect candidate for the job. And we kind of sort of agreed that, like, of all the auditions, this actor kind of sort of blew us all, like, away. I mean, he was kind of perfect. It was like sort of this revelation of kind of like, this is so great. Kind of, hold on, what? Was he great or not? Why can't you say that? Once again, committal. I don't commit. I sort of commit. I leave myself a little leeway. I shuck and jive. It's the equivalent of, if, on the cop show, you go, whoa, the sex worker was murdered, and you go, were drugs involved? And the badass cop goes, something like that. Well, yeah, okay, stop being an asshole. Were drugs involved or not? Well, like I said, something like, hey, jack off. Okay, sure, drugs are involved. I just want to be cool, man. I don't like answering straightforward questions. Can't corner me. It's a very childish, right, impulse. Like, you can't hold me down. Don't want to be held responsible for anything I actually think or say. So that's what the lilty thing is. I'm not really saying it. It's just really sort of a question. Kind of. They both come from the same place. And their function is identical. As stupidity and non-committal to intellectual thought as bling bling. The dummies have to think. For me, I do the driving around in my, $4 million car and jumping on stage and talking crazy and whatever. That's what I do. You guys do the thinking. Thinking is now like shoveling a hole in a backyard. It makes you a loser. If you want to display how much you think thinking people are losers, yeah, throw around the lilty thing and throw in as many sort of kind ofs as you can. Even Andrew, I should say Mr. Huberman, great interview. But yeah, he caught himself using the sort of, and he corrected himself when he said, yeah, he's sort of the leading linguistic scholar, and he said, oh, wait, no, he's not sort of, he is. Now, he threw in a lot of kind of sort ofs later because he's surrounded by people who are using that as bling bling, and he's just taking it on as a horrible habit. Hopefully he'll recognize that and attend to it. But yeah, practice not doing that and try to cut sort of and kind of out of your language and see how it starts to change. It's kind of like sort of how you think and even how you like take responsibility for the things you say and things you do. Try it like that. I didn't say this stuff is all this stuff going on in the streets, all this craziness, this fragility stuff. I didn't say it's sort of, kind of, a little bit wrong-headed. No, I said it's nuts. And a lot of scholars of all stripes, colors, backgrounds, sexual identities have said exactly as much. They said it's nuts. Not kind of nuts, not sort of nuts. Crazy. If everyone gets rid of this kind of sort of for like a month and we all stop doing the lilty thing, watch everyone's conversation change radically. You'll sound more like Cornel West or Martin Luther King or Steven Pinker or Hersey Ali or Sam Harris or, well, I was going to say Christopher Hitchens, but that's aiming a little too high. But you'll start to sound like an intelligent person who's actually thought about, oh shoot, I almost did it myself, who actually thinks about stuff. Don't worry, we won't hold it against you.